name is Alex. If you haven't been to my channel before, welcome. And if you have been to my channel before, welcome back. It's the first few days of 2021 in January, and what a better way to start the year than buying some new tech, buying some new equipment. And because I've used a microphone for a number of years in a few different projects, I figured it was time to upgrade some of my equipment. The one I'm speaking to you on at the moment is an M Audio Producer USB that I've had for many years, and to be honest, it's been through the wars. I've had some issues with it in terms of crackling and just it cutting out sometimes, so I figured why not upgrade to something new. Now, I've done a little bit of video research. I spent a bit of time on YouTube, a bit of time on different articles as well, just to figure out which one would best suit my needs. I wanted something to potentially use on these videos. I wanted something to use on my voiceovers, and just something all round that was going to give me some quality, easy control, USB powered, that can plug into iOS devices, my Mac and the like, and it's going to give me great sounding quality for an affordable price as well. So there are a few of those areas that I wanted to consider when I was looking for a microphone. Now it's 2021 and the Blue Yeti seems to be absolutely everywhere. There's countless videos online about it, and it has been around for many years. So should we really still be looking at the Blue Yeti in 2021? And I guess you and I are on this same journey on this video to figuring it out and taking a look as to what makes up this microphone. So first, I thought we would start with an unboxing. So taking a look at the box, it's actually really nicely packaged, which is great. It's got quite a nice breakdown, and we'll have a chat about this shortly, about the different modes and pattern setting symbols that are actually available on this microphone. And that's, I think, something that has made it quite popular over the years, is just how many controls, manually set controls, this particular microphone has, and the different sound directions and patterns that you can choose on it. Because typically, including the microphone that I'm speaking to you on right now, you'd only have that one single sound pattern. But just having a look at the rest of the hardware as well on the box, we obviously get the microphone, we get a bass, and you've got a number of different controls on there as well that we'll have a look at when we physically unbox the device. Fantastic, so let's jump into opening this box. I've got my Stanley knife handy. I've got the nice packaging here. It is really nicely packaged, which is impressive, I think, for a microphone. This packaging here. And here we are. We've got the inside of the box, and straight away we've got the instruction manual, the USB connector for the microphone itself, and some of the rest of the packaging. Multi-pattern USB mic for recording and streaming. And here we are. So we've got, now the great thing that I've heard about this that we will have a look at now is apparently it's all metal, which is really nice, really nicely constructed. A bit heavy, but that's well built. So we'll pop this out of the way. Move this over. And here we are. So we're looking at it at the bottom here, where we've got the connector for when you're connecting it to stands and the like. If you want to connect it to a different one that's not included in the box, we've got a USB connection there. We've got a microphone output, so you can have latency-free previews. And I do like, I have seen this before, that it does quite neatly pack up like so. So you can have it facing down, then it's all kind of in its own little unit, which is cool to see. On the bottom of the base, my current stand actually doesn't have any nice padding on the feet at the moment, so it is kind of scratchy on my desk. So it's nice to see that the Blue has this padding on the bottom. So if we flip it out, it's good to see that foam padding down the bottom there comes straight away, but it does go to the side. And then here we are with the microphone itself. Now this is the fully black design, which I really like. There's a few different colors available. I think there's about 4, but I really do like the blackout one available here. And straight away, it definitely is a fantastically made, really wonderfully made microphone. I love that everything feels really solidly built. It's very cold to the touch because it's all metal except for these plastic knobs, but even they feel really nice. And it's great to see that there's just a lot in this particular stand with the microphone, so you can position it how you like, get the perfect audio going and the right position with this microphone. So it is, as I mentioned before, it's a really nice physical design. It still looks great. It feels great with its metal. It feels very sturdily built. But I think the most important thing to me that I'm going to talk a little bit about why I still went with the Yeti even in 2021 is because of the customization and the physical hardware options that we have on here. So we going along theme with the 3.5mm jack that we've got there for latency-free audio previews. We've got an adjustment knob for the volume, and it feels really nice. It's really nicely weighted, and again, it just feels like a really, really premium quality piece of kit, which is great. So we've got that there for the live audio preview. We've got a mute button here for muting the actual microphone input. On the sides, we have these adjustment knobs, and one on the other side as well, where you can easily tweak that, and that's how strong you can make the position and the angle of the microphone. So you can loosen that to make it move a bit more and tighten it up when you've got the perfect angle. Going to the back, and this is where some of the Yeti's continuingly unique features are available. Now obviously there are some microphones and more expensive ones, and some that are coming in the same kind of price range as well that are starting to pick up these. But I just found that within the cost of this particular microphone, this was definitely one of the more customizable versions and options available in terms of all of these patterns that it has available. So let's take a look at what the patterns are. So in addition to the Yeti being still very well known, still one of if not the most purchased microphone in this price range, I think one of the reasons why people still keep going back to this, and a reason why I went back to it, is just because of the number of sound patterns available on the microphone. I just didn't have this on this current microphone that I'm speaking to you on, and I found that a lot of the ones in the same similar price range, I was looking at a Rode microphone, for example, the Studio USB microphone, which looked really great. It had some really fantastic reviews, and some of the sound audio tests online sounded really, really positive. In fact, I'd say that in some of the tests, I thought that the audio was maybe the tiniest bit crisper than the Yeti in some of the comparisons, but I still came to this one because of these numbers of sound patterns available. So I guess on that Rode microphone that I was looking at, you've typically only got the cardioid sound pattern available on the microphone, which is that kind of sound isolating waveform or pattern that comes and focuses primarily on your voice. So, you know, even if you're typing away in the background, you're probably less likely to hear it too much. But in addition to that, to the cardioid, which is probably the most popular option in terms of patterns, you've also got omnidirectional, which is going to be fantastic for podcasting or conversations. I'm not really doing that at the moment, but if that is an option, it's great to have that there. Bidirectional, which is probably great for those two-way discussions, which is something. I've got a friend who's a YouTuber and some other creative friends as well, and if I ever want to have a video with them discussing some topics that we might want to both discuss on video, I think it's really great that I'll be able to have that option straight away on my main microphone, and having bidirectional. And stereo, which is probably really quite important for instruments and stuff like that I don't really use, but it's just nice to have all of these 4 different patterns, and I'll give you a little bit of a sample of those shortly. Alright, so here we are just to do a bit of a sound comparison with the current microphone that I am using. So here on the left I have my M Audio Producer USB, which is I think 8 years old. It's definitely been through the wars. It's got a little bit of damage from a time when I dropped it as well, but it has gotten me through these past few years on a few different projects. Now, if I'm honest, the reason why I'm changing it is I have had some issues with it in terms of it has had some unusual clipping and disconnections, and some clicking in some noises in some recordings as well. So I have been wanting to replace it, which is why I have bought the Yeti. But just to show you here, the start of this video, I've been recording on the M Audio Producer USB microphone, which is this one here, and this is the one I'm still speaking to you on. Let's jump over to the Yeti. So at the moment we are in the cardioid setting, which I believe is probably the most popular for if you're doing voiceovers, streaming, and the likes. And on the box here, it says that it is best for game streaming, Skype and Discord, podcasts, and voiceovers. So just to read a few words from the very riveting user manual. Congratulations on your purchase of the Yeti, the world's #1 USB microphone. Featuring Blue's innovative tri-capsule array, the Yeti lets you record with 4 unique patterns: stereo, cardioid, omnidirectional, and bidirectional. Now let's move to the omnidirectional setting, and I'm going to move around a little bit, just around the microphone, just to represent how it picks up audio from different positions. So we're going to move from cardioid, which the microphone is currently on, to omnidirectional. Alright, so I'm speaking now on omnidirectional, and I'm going to move around the microphone a little bit. You can't see me in the camera moving around too well, but I am moving around. I even just made a clicking noise from behind the microphone, and I'm moving to the right and the left and back in front. So we're now speaking on the bidirectional sound pattern, which is this one on the very right, which should be very similar to the omnidirectional, except we should only be getting audio from here, which is the rear of the microphone, and here, which is the front, for if you are having a two-way conversation. So I'll test out just whether we're getting audio on this side and this side as compared to the back and the front. So you can probably hear me quite clearly now. You can probably hear that quite clearly at the front of the microphone. I'm just going to come above the microphone and try to speak from the front as well. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And now from what would be the right of the microphone, if you're facing the front. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. And the left. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. So that was the bidirectional sound pattern, which is going to be best for those two-way discussions in front and behind the microphone. Alright, so we're now on the stereo setting, which is this one on the very left, and I'm not speaking to the front of the microphone yet, but let's switch it over. Alright, so I'm back to the front of the microphone on the stereo setting, which is probably going to be really great if you're using an instrument and you want that bright sound that's got the left and right channel, because there are plenty of microphones out there that actually don't have a stereo setting, so it's really nice to have. So again, this is the stereo mode, and this is how it sounds. Alright, so we're back on the Blue Yeti, and we're back in the cardioid setting, which is I guess that setting that I'm probably most likely to use, given its sound wave pattern and its focusing on my voice in front of the microphone. Some immediate observations that I've made comparing my previous microphone here on the right to the Blue Yeti that we're now speaking on is they're not too dissimilar. I can definitely tell just on the raw versions of this audio before any editing, I've definitely got a little bit more noise and some issues on the M audio, which is half the reason why I'm moving away from it. But I've also found that the Blue Yeti definitely it picks up sound better. It has a warmer sound profile, I suppose. I think the voice sounds a bit warmer and it has a bit more of a bassy tone to it as well. And I can definitely see why it's quite popular. I did kind of like a little bit more neutral tone that was in the M audio, but if I'm honest, I don't mind that this sounds a little bit more bright. It definitely sounds a little bit more clean, and there's less background noise as well, and it's obviously a more modern microphone. And I think given all those customizable settings that are physically on the hardware, so you don't have to depend on changing your gain purely in software form, you've got a mute button, you've got that latency-free connection with audio as well, and all of those different sound patterns, I think that there is definitely a reason why the Yeti is still a fantastic microphone, and I'm really pleased with my purchase. Just for insight, I got this for 179 Australian dollars, so maybe that's, I think, probably 110 US dollars today. And I'm actually really quite pleased with that price. I think it's a fantastic value microphone, and it's clear why a lot of people still use it. I guess to summarize my video today, I just wanted to unbox this microphone with you. I bought it for a particular purpose for my use in some voiceover work, alongside what I'm kind of doing with my videos at the moment. So I'm really quite pleased with the Blue Yeti. I don't think there is much still in the way of it being too old or anything like that, given that it's been around for a couple of years. I think it's still a really versatile microphone, especially with all those pattern setting symbols, and I really like the way that you can change the gain on the microphone itself. Through these audio tests, I'm happy that it is having less background issues than background noise issues that I was having with my M Audio Producer USB. And I do think the warm sound profile, maybe it could be a little bit more neutral, but I do think that it's still quite clean and crisp. So I am overall really happy with this microphone, and I think it's a really easy way to get started if you're looking for something that is quite affordable and still sounds really great before you step into those really expensive microphones. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this microphone. Please like and subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll catch you in the next video.